faith? What is faith? I want to write a book about this in 2019, if I can find the time, if I'm still alive. All of you should be fighting the fight of faith. Paul calls it the good fight of faith, right? That's 1 Timothy 6:12, the good fight of faith. What is that? What would that fight look like? You get up in the morning, fight the fight of faith. Go to work, fight the fight of faith. Deal with your family, fight the fight of faith. What is that? Well, here's what Jesus said about believing, faith. I am the bread of life. This is John 6:35. I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall not hunger. So now you have a verb coming. Comes to me shall not hunger. And you know that's not just a physical coming, because Judas came to him, right? Judas came to him physically, hung out with him for 3 years. He didn't have faith. Coming to Jesus is a spiritual, I'm finding you to be food. I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall not hunger. He who believes, there's the word faith, in a verb form, who has faith in me shall never thirst. So that's a parallel structure. Comes to me shall never hunger, believes in me shall never thirst. So how would you define believing in view of that parallel? Who comes, never hungers. Believes, never thirsts. And I'd paraphrase it like this. Believing in Jesus is a spiritual, a heart coming to him so as to eat and drink to your soul's satisfaction so the world doesn't hold any addictions for you anymore. Something like that. Faith is very, very different than just believing facts or assenting or I remember one time with R.C. Sproul, I was at a conference, and he preached on a message on faith, and he as an illustration, he put a chair out there, real familiar illustration. He said, I believe that chair will hold me up. Believe, right? And he said, but you don't really believe in it unless you're willing to sit on it. He went over and he sat on the chair. Now you know I believe the chair will hold you up. So I came on and preached after him, and I didn't think that was enough. Is it not good to correct your host, like me telling Richard Koken how to run his church or something like that? But I knew him, and we're friends. So I said, here's the problem with that illustration. There are people who look at that chair and say, that chair will hold me up. There are people, this is Jesus, right? Jesus is the chair. There are people who go over there and sit in that chair. And they think it's an ugly chair. They wouldn't put it in their living room. I said, you want to be saved? You got to love the chair. He's watching this on a screen back in the back room. And we were sitting on a panel afterwards. And he came out. Everybody's wondering, what's he going to say? What's he going to say? And he comes out on the panel and he leans over and says, John, I love the chair. I said, I knew you loved the chair. But think about that. In your evangelism, when you're trying to get people to sit in Jesus as their Savior and their Lord, they got to see the chair as beautiful. They do. They have to. If he's ugly and unattractive and embarrassing, their heart hasn't been changed. They just want out of trouble, out of their addiction or out of their hell or out of their whatever horrible situation. And he's the ticket out. That's not faith.